Whew. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's good? What's good? What's good, everyone? Hi there, everybody. What's up? This is me, Spectacular Pooter. Nice to see everybody here. Welcome. I'll put that up somewhere. Ah, okay. What is up, everyone? What's good? What's good? Nice to see all of you. Now, we are back with episode 16. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. What happened to the episode 16 you initially had, where you was talking about Smash Ultimate and you was talking about plenty of other stuff? I'm gonna get to that real quick. What happened with Smash Ultimate? What happened with that episode? Sadly, I did not check the past broadcast, so because of the fact that I did not check it, it will not count. So this one's gonna be the official episode 16. I really wish I had checked that, because if I had checked that, it would have counted. It would have had my reaction. You would have everybody else's reaction. But sadly, it didn't happen. But so, that's one that's gonna be lost to time. But that's fine. We got plenty more episodes to go where we can have a reaction over something that we either like or something that we either dislike. But 1 minute. Sorry about that. That was my mom. But yeah, pretty much for everybody, I hope everyone is doing well. How was your day? For anyone that does not know who I am, that's just coming in. For me, to introduce myself, I am Spectacular Pooh. I'm a variety streamer. I play a wide variety of games. I play action games, sports games, shooters, racing, any of the like. I play those games. I enjoy them. You know, JRPGs, RPGs, I enjoy them with my community, the fandoms. They enjoy those games with me. Speaking of the fans, we have a couple of them here. We have Malfesune here, and we have Omega Reploid223 here. So how are you guys? I hope you guys have been had yourselves a good day. Had yourselves a great day. On that note, you're probably wondering, yo, where's your usual just chatting setup? A rainbow of games. Yeah. That's a perfect description. But to explain what happened to the just chatting setup, I am going to explain it like this. First off, I can officially announce I'm back on stream on OBS Studio. Now, how is it I'm back on OBS Studio? Let me go ahead and explain. What I have been doing, thanks to Stream Elements, which has been very helpful. Very helpful. For what Stream Elements has here is I was able to port over most of my stream setup over to Stream Elements itself. So basically it's running off of the internet, and it's not gonna run off of, say, the hardware, or off of anything else, off of anything that involves my computer directly. It's not going to involve that anymore. That's what happened the last time. That could have been likely why we were having some frame rate issues. I can't say for sure. But knowing that now we were able to just run it off Stream Elements by itself, off the internet by itself, it's great. So thank you, Stream Elements, for that. The just chatting portion of that is going to be coming basically next week, because by the time we're done streaming here, I'm going to have that ready the first chance I get. So, while we don't have our just chatting set up today for today's lightning round, we can still talk. You still see me. I still see your comments. You'll be able to see what's up on the screen in a matter of moments, and it's all going to be good. So, today's topics for what we have right now, we have the following. We're going to talk about NFL Week 5. In fact, all of this stream, if you guys are not sports heavy, all of this stream is going to be NFL related. So, if you guys are not all too thrilled with sports, then you best come in on Friday, because Friday This is the schedule that's going to be coming up. Not for this one right here. This is technically next week, but Friday's schedule coming up is I'm going to finally do Sly Cooper. I have never played Sly Cooper before. So Friday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be doing Sly Cooper 1. The next week, I repeat, next week, I will be doing Yakuza Kiwami, which is basically Yakuza 1, just remastered. And I'm going to do more of Sly Cooper 1. So, that is what's going to go down the following week. So, that's what the schedule is, all entails. I don't know why that happened the way that it did, but I'm not complaining. But, yeah, basically, so let's get started, shall we? I was tempted to play Sly Cooper today, but I was doing Unite things for about. That's fine, Choco, because you're probably going to really be tempted when I start to do it on Friday. So, in that case, let's go ahead and get to it. Let's talk about everything that happened for the NFL, shall we? Let's talk about everything. Let's start with this. Week 5 of the NFL. We're going to start, of course, with the Colts and the Ravens. Again, if you guys don't know, I'm not going to talk too much on the stats, but I will talk about what my thoughts were on the teams that won. Rams beating the Seahawks 26-17. I'm going to say this. For the Seattle Seahawks, that was a good key win for them, but for the not for the Seattle Seahawks, for the Los Angeles Rams, the Los Angeles Rams lost way more than just that game against the Seahawks. The Rams. The fuck am I doing? The Seahawks lost way more than just that game. Seahawks have lost Russell Wilson throughout a month. Now, I'm going to show everybody what the Seahawks schedule is looking like without Russell Wilson throughout a whole month. So, let me go ahead and show you real quick. Week 6 games. Week 6, they have the Steelers. Yes, I'm having multi-brain farts. Yeah, I'm going to try to get over it. Week 6 games, they have a game against the Steelers. Week 7, they have a game. My phone's about to die. Week 7, they have a game against the Saints. Give me a minute. My phone's about to die. Yeah, give me 1 minute. Alright, it's charging now. Okay, so, like I said, week 6, they have a game against the Steelers. Week 7, they have a game against the Saints. Week 8, they have a game against the... I think this is their bye week. I don't see them up here. Hold on, let me see. Keep scrolling down. Okay, so their bye week is week 8. They don't have a game. Week 9, they have a game against... The fuck? They couldn't. Could they have 2 bye weeks? I don't see him here. Hold up, unless I'm not looking right. Yeah, unless I'm not looking right. Why do they have back-to-back bye weeks? Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. Week 8, they have a game against the Jaguars. Okay, my bad. Week 8, they have a game against the Jaguars. Week 9, they don't have... Yeah, week 9... They have a game. They don't have a game. This is literally throughout as far as I go. So throughout a good portion of this, they have a game against the Packers too. I'm gonna say this right now. Considering the fact that the Seahawks do not have their starting quarterback and their best player, arguably their best player in Russell Wilson, it is not looking good for the Seattle Seahawks. So for them to not only take that L against the Rams, but to take an even harder L by losing their quarterback, that might be their season. That just might be their season. For the Los Angeles Rams, they're looking like a pretty damn formidable team that's making their case for the playoffs. So I can't wait to see what they're going to do come playoff time, just like everybody else. But I will say this: Matthew Stafford is having the career of a lifetime, and I say that in the sense where his team is really out here winning. And if you guys have followed Matthew Stafford's career with this guy being on the Lions for as long as he has not been that lucky when it goes to playoff time. So, we will see what he does later on. God, my throat. Must have swallowed too hard. We will see what's going on with him and the Rams a little later on in the season. But for right now, for Matthew Stafford, man, look, he's on cloud nine, and there's only a few one or two teams so far that beat him. But right now, like I said, he's on cloud nine. He's got every reason to be. His team is just red hot. Next, we have the Jets versus the Falcons. This was a pretty solid game. So I will look at a few stats here. I'm going to look at some from both rookies. Of course, Zach Wilson, 19 of 32, 192 yards and an interception. Corey Davis had a solid game. Keenan Cole, solid. Jameson Crowder. Okay, yeah. I mean, they don't look all that much, but they're relatively solid for a team that usually passes the ball a lot. You know, it's different receivers. Matt Ryan definitely had a solid game. 33 of 45, 342 yards and 2 touchdowns. Cordell Patterson, 14 of 54, 14 carries, 54 yards. Mike Davis, 13 carries, 53 yards, 1 touchdown. Kyle Pitts, it's about time he broke out. Now, for people that don't know who Kyle Pitts is all about, he was a tight end coming out of Florida and was widely regarded as one of the best tight ends in the last couple years. It took him a while, but week 5, he finally got that first 100-yard game. So 9 receptions, 119 yards, and 1 touchdown. Congrats to Kyle Pitts. Cordell Patterson also had a solid day receiving, 7 receptions and 60 yards. Of course, I'm not surprised. He's a receiver. But now all of a sudden he's trying to transition to both receiver and running back. He's done a good job of it, though. Everything else was offensively for the Falcons was relatively solid. They barely eked out a win. If that says anything, they barely eked out a win. 27-20. But still, it was a solid game. It was a fun game to look at. Let's see what else here. Okay. I have to get to this one. 49ers and Cardinals. I don't know about you guys. Cardinals is looking like they're ready for the playoffs. Not only that, I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to make a deep run. They're still the only undefeated team left in the National Football League. That's impressive. And of course, we see why, because Kyler Murray out here putting up MVP performances. Now, he didn't do it too much this game, but still, he did just enough to where, his team stays undefeated. 22 out of 31, 239 yards, 1 touchdown. Kyler Murray is making his case. He's doing solid. You gotta give respect where it's due. And for Cliff Kingsbury, a lot of doubts have been placed on him, rightfully so, that, could he really coach? Could he really do a good job in coaching? Well, so far, it looks he's answering that question. I will talk more about on this with these teams being 5-0 or 4-1. I'm definitely going to talk more about that, where I have a key question to ask, not just for these Cardinals fans, but really for the general NFL, for what's going to happen to these teams that are at 4-1 or above. You can see here James Conner, 10 of 29, 1 touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, 6 receptions, 87 yards and a touchdown. Christian Kirk, 5 catches, 39 yards. Rondale Moore, 5 catches, 59 yards. Don't forget, people, Rondale Moore's a rookie. He's doing real good over there. Other than that, I think that's all I can really say about the Cards. They just stay doing good. And right now, but they will say this. They have a tough matchup ahead of them. You see this right here? You got Cardinals versus Browns at 4:05 p.m. on October 17th. That will be a very, very interesting game because guess what? The Browns, they may be 3-2, but they're not the typical they're not like a shaky team, so to speak. In the way how I see it, their defense is pretty damn crazy. Okay, so Next is the Cowboys versus the Giants. I might as well talk a little about the NFC East. First off, fuck both these teams. Really fuck the Cowboys, but again, I have to give credit where it is due. Dak Prescott pretty much already made his case for comeback player of the year. 22 out of 32, 302 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Dude has been red hot literally since the season started. Even though the Cowboys lost against the Bucs, which is their only L of this season, they have been really good. They've been looking really good. Now, I will have to state this claim. They have gone up against 3 other pretty damn weak teams. Of course, the Giants. Of course, the Eagles. What the fuck else have they gone up against? My bad. Let me see. Their games. So, in the Panthers, I will give them that. But I'm going to talk more about the Panthers in a bit. The Chargers, I will say, is their only tough team. Their only tough team so far outside of the Buccaneers. Now, they did beat the Chargers, but I have to call it as it is. The refs pretty much made damn sure that they could beat them. Let's keep it 100, people. They made damn sure. Even Cowboys fans can't deny it because they pretty much almost blew that game as well. So that's why there's still some questions out on the Cowboys because of how the referees did the Chargers dirty in that game, who I'm going to get to in a bit. Omega said, Skip Biz must be one happy fan. I'm sure he is, along with plenty of other ones, although also fuck Skip Bayless. Because here's the deal that I don't get with him. God forbid any of these Cowboys players do shitty for like a couple games. They do shitty for a couple games, he ends up throwing their jersey in the trash. Ask Zeke Elliott how that went. And even Cowboys fans would agree with you. That shows you he's not exactly a cool person to talk with. Zeke Elliott, speaking of him, 21 carries, 110 yards, 1 touchdown. This is looking like the Zeke Elliott of his rookie year, which is scary when it goes to the rest of the league. Because I understand right now, of course, the Cowboys are more benefit off of. They're still doing the same things that they always done. They've always still sat up there, ran the ball. But here's the thing. While, yes, the Cowboys have always ran the ball, what makes it kind of scary, so to speak, is the fact that they now can throw. They can really throw the football really, really well. And Dak Prescott obviously showing how well he can throw the ball. But that kind of shows. The Cowboys trying to stake their claim as well from being a playoff top dog, and they're doing, let's be honest, they're doing a damn good job of it. Regardless of the teams they went up against, they're making it known. It's like, yo, look, I get the rest of the NFC East is butt-ass terrible, but I'm not butt-ass terrible. And their defense is looking solid too. But hey, we'll find out and see how long that'll last, because right now we're in week 6. And again, just like what I said with the Cardinals, I'm going to say the same thing with the Dallas Cowboys and any other team that's 4-1. We're going to see how long they can keep this up. CeeDee Lamb, 4 receptions, 84 yards and a touchdown. Dalton Schultz, 6 receptions, 79 yards, no touchdown. Amari Cooper, 3 receptions, 60 yards and a touchdown. I will say this. Amari Cooper is not looking like the best receiver on Dallas right now. I feel like it's personally CeeDee Lamb. He's been on target. He's been on point. It's either CeeDee Lamb. Yeah. I really just think it's him. Because he's been showing, he was worth the first round pick that they picked up a couple drafts ago, a draft ago or so. Micah Parsons, 6 tackles, 2 assists. Micah Parsons is looking like a damn good pickup for them. I hate to say it. At defensive end, yes, I say defensive end. I know that he can play linebacker and he can cover. But he's scary when he rushes the passer. Let's be honest. Leighton Vander Esch, he's looking like he's coming back to form. 4 tackles, 1 assisted. Jameron Kearse, 3 tackles, 3 assisted. Trayvon Diggs, Jesus Christ. Trayvon Diggs looking like he's making his mark for the Pro Bowl. He has gotten interception in each week. you would think that would stop versus the Patriots, but we'll find out because Matt Jones has also been solid. Let's go on and talk about something else because I'm tired of giving the Cowboys credit. It makes me feel like I'm low-key a Cowboys fan when I'm not. Let's talk about the Bears and the Raiders. Now, we're going to transition with this, right? We're going to transition with this. I'm not just going to talk about the Bears and the Raiders. I'm going to talk about what happened with John Gruden. So, Bears and Raiders. The Bears completely demolished the Raiders 20-9. Justin Fields, he needed this kind of game after getting his ass smacked all over the place by the Cleveland Browns. He went 12 of 20, 111 yards, 1 touchdown. You would think by that, you would ask yourself, how the fuck would it be 20-9? Well, Damian Williams also had a touchdown. He had a touchdown rushing. And Jesper Horsted, of course, that was his receiving touchdown. So, of course, you could easily assume the rest of it came off field goals. So, they scored 2 touchdowns, which they did here. And the rest of it was just by field goals. Either a field goal or maybe a missed extra point, but I'm just going to say a field goal. The Raiders, as you can see, first quarter, 3 points. Everything else, none. Well, they scored I guess 2 more points here in the fourth quarter, but they did not score a touchdown that whole game. They pretty much got shut out that whole game. Or did they? Let me see. Never mind. I'm sorry. Josh Jacobs scored a touchdown. My bad, Josh. I didn't mean to discredit you. But yeah, Josh Jacobs scored a touchdown, but his kicker missed the extra point. So, on that end, seeing that score and seeing the way how that ended, I gotta tell you, ain't this some poetic shit? So, let's go on and look up more, huh? Let's look up what happened recently on today's little NFL news adventure, shall we? Let's look this up. John Gruden. John Gruden. So, for anybody that is unaware, John Gruden not only got cut off from the Ring of Honor from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Madden, as of right now, is looking to get rid of John Gruden in any form of likeness with him. They're going to replace him with a generic likeness. This is because John Gruden has resigned. I repeat, he has resigned from the Las Vegas Raiders. So, the reason why he resigned is because there were some emails that actually broke and got out that John Gruden said some very racial things. He said some racial comments. He said some homophobic comments. He said some very insulting comments. Not just towards the NFL commissioner, but towards basically a few other things. Now, here's my thought of that whole situation, right? Here's my thought of that. I don't know about you guys, but I gotta call for what it is. When that first report came out that John Gruden said something racial about the whole Smith dude, yeah, I forgot his first name. When he said something racial from there, you want to know what the first thing that came to my mind? The first thing that came to my mind is, all right, yeah, he said something racist, but knowing that it's the NFL, he's not going to end up resigning. That's literally how I thought. That's literally how I thought of it. But not just that, but when he came at the commissioner in that email, I felt like it wasn't that either. I really felt like what got John Gruden fired at the end of the day was him, of course, saying the gay remarks, with the fucked up comments, with the gay remarks, when he was talking specifically about the Rams situation at the time, St. Louis Rams, when they had Jeff Fisher as a head coach, and he said, quote unquote, that the NFL pressured the St. Louis Rams to draft Michael Sam because of the fact that he was gay. This is kind of false considering that the Rams afterwards, not just that with the whole thing with the Hard Knocks thing, but Hard Knocks whole thing with Michael Sam, but there's also the fact that the Rams, even after that situation, was on Hard Knocks plenty of times. They were on there plenty of times. By the way, speaking of a gay player, Carl Nassib currently on the Las Vegas Raiders. He is a gay player. So, of course, when you see this report saying that he's going to take the day off, if I was the Raiders, I look, go ahead, take the day off. Because it's crazy because this dude pretty much fought hard for his coach, his former coach, and to see that his former coach was all like this, of course, that's going to make him feel some type of way. It's going to make him feel all types of fucked up. For more than just 5 weeks of play, but this is for years worth because he's been on there. He's been on that team since what, 18, 19? Around that. So, my thing is with this, as I say this, when I said, okay, it didn't get fired because the other two things that got him fired because of the whole thing that happened with, with him talking about gay people. Here's how I see with it. This should go equally. Am I wrong for saying this? For thinking that this should go equally? If a coach or let alone player like him, like coach or player, no matter who it is, of the National Football League says something that is completely way out of line, he should be dealt with accordingly just as much as, one specific race, one specific sex, one specific gender should. If an NFL player came out, which has happened a number of times, said some extremely racist comments, I should say, they should be dealt with accordingly. They should be, re-sign or get fired accordingly. Since, John Gruden has quote-unquote re-signed when really he got fired, you should be all about that. But instead, what I don't like with this whole thing is you're making this particular thing much more of a priority than the other things that the NFL players and NFL fans have been trying to step up towards to get that on equal level. This should matter just as much. So when players was out there sitting up there kneeling just to, get black people, more attention that they rightfully should have at the time. How come is it that, Kaepernick got blackballed for that? Here's the deal, though. Here's how I really feel. Kaepernick did get blackballed, but at the end of the day, Colin Kaepernick is also not a good player. So people tend to forget about that because they look at this with, people tend to low-key look at this with Tim Tebow not getting a chance in the NFL when we just saw what happened plain as day with Tim Tebow not being a good player. So it's more to it than that. So I would say no, it's not as him being blackballed. I see it more so as him not being a good player. But on that same quote, that same thing that still goes to what I'm saying is why is it the NFL is treating one thing treating this one thing a much more bigger deal than, of course, one specific thing. For you, the NFL, you should treat this the same way. If that one person fucked up badly with what they said towards this specific thing, they should get that. If you said something way out of line towards gay people, knowing you have gay players there or a gay player there, and the league's not going to tolerate for it, nor the people on your team going to tolerate for it, show that. My thing is, it hasn't just been the NFL as a league that has shown that, but certain teams have shown that. You see, I talked about earlier that said the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have advocated for purposeful change in the areas of race relations, gender equality, diversity, and inclusion for many years, While we acknowledge John Gruden's contributions on the field, his actions go against our core values as an organization. Therefore, he will no longer continue as a member of the Bucks Ring of Honor. Here's my question with this, though, right? If they're all about that, the Bucks are all about that, right? Why is it that Warren Sapp is still in the Ring of Honor? Now, for people that don't know who, Antonio Brown on the low, if they're really about that, they should remove him. If the league is really about that, Tyreek Hill shouldn't be in the league, right? Right? Deshaun Watson, who still has 20, 25 cases on him at the moment, and is still not playing. You know what I'm saying? He's still on the team. He's not removed officially. He's unofficially removed because he pretty much is not showing up. So my thing is, if you're going to be all like this for one particular thing, if you're all like this for the gay people, which is understandable, you should still keep that same energy when it goes to the black people. You should still keep that same energy when it goes to anyone. Any particular thing that is very, very sensitive to what the NFL has been trying to improve upon. Now, I say Warren Sapp because for people that have, I'm going to brush you up on a little bit of history here. This is the thing for Warren Sapp that's right here. Warren Sapp was arrested for domestic battery in 2010, and then he was arrested for soliciting a prostitute and assault in 2015. This is clearly towards women. But the Bucks have done nothing to remove him from the Ring of Honor. In fact, Madden has done nothing to get rid of him from the Ring of Honor. Nobody's talking about this? Really? And I remember that too. After he got caught with all that, thank you for this comment. After he got caught with all that, Warren Sapp also got fired from his job at NFL Network, because I remember him being at NFL Network within 24 hours of that arrest. And the Bucks still has him up for the Ring of Honor. Antonio Brown, while yes he had his case dropped, still on the team. Tyreek Hill has two instances where it either involves him beating up his pregnant girlfriend in the midst of the draft, or in the recent case, whereas Tyreek Hill, he was beating on his kid, badly beating on his kid, more or less. Not like the kind of discipline which kids don't really get nowadays. They don't get ass beatings like I used to get. But it was like to a much more higher level of extreme for what he did. And by the way, we can say the same for Adrian Peterson. But you want to know what really gets me with all this? I know we're supposed to be talking about NFL games, and I will. But you want to know what gets me? I heard that when it comes to disciplinary aspects. Yeah, basically. But you want to know what gets me with all this? Guess who people want to point the finger towards whenever this whole shit happened with John Gruden? Take a good guess. Motherfuckers really brought up Mike Vick. I guess I need to sit up there and give people a good bit of history for a bit. Sit down with me. Sit down with Pooh for a minute as I give y'all a little bit of this history. Mike Vick, back in 2008, 2007, around that, got caught by doing a dogfighting ring. And he actually, I guess, he hurt those dogs. He hurt those animals. When he got caught with that, Mike Vick, in court, pled guilty. Yeah, he pled guilty, lost his job, went to prison. Went to prison. Did 2 years of the dogfighting incident. Got out of prison. And came back into the league because Andy Reid said, alright, he seems like he's a lot more better of a human being compared to what he once was in the past. And gave him his second opportunity. And Michael Vick has done a hell of a lot to make the most of his second opportunity. Now, you guys have heard what I just brought up with this whole thing that involved Tyreek Hill, Antonio Brown, John Gruden. I didn't even bring up Ben Roethlisberger, who raped the girls, but that case got dropped for some dumb reason. Joe Mixon beat up his girl. Greg Hardy beat up his girl. But there's one thing, right, that all of these guys got in common. Aside from Mike Vick. These people not only was able to keep their job after a situation like that, they was not only able to keep their job, but it's almost like everybody in the league decides to forget all that shit that happened. They never said sorry, like Mike Vick did. They never paid back their dues to society, like Mike Vick did, and still continue to do. They never really, in my opinion, showed any forms of remorse, but yet they still kept their job. And the only reason why those set players I mentioned either still have a job now or don't have a job anymore is because their team let them go because they felt like they weren't good enough to play on the team anymore. Or in Antonio Brown's case, still kept his job. I mean, Ray Rice, should I talk about Ray Rice? I mean, Ray Rice is a fucking ambassador for the league after he beat up his girlfriend. Punched her and had her head smacked towards the railing. I still remember the whole damn video. Y'all get where I'm talking about? But the one thing we're going to bring up is Mike Vick, though. Whereas Mike Vick practically did all the shit that the NFL players that get in trouble currently did not do. He didn't, he showed his remorse. He went to jail. He pled guilty. He came out of jail. He came back, played in the league after he retired, paid off his debts to society, and even running his own foundation for the exact same animals that he hurt. If anything, I understand for people that still will not forgive Mike Vick. That's understandable. I get that. You're probably never going to forgive a person like that. But please, please, please to God, do not sit here and try to make it seem like Mike Vick is truly that bad of a person when he has shown his fucking remorse at the end of the day. And he has done way more than these people that don't want to forgive. I rest my case on that. You don't have to forgive, but please, by all means, stop putting that man up for a comparison. When really it's not a fair comparison. It will never be a fair comparison. Come back to me when we actually sit up there and we have human beings in the NFL that will legit take true responsibility for the shit that they have done and come back. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. John Gruden ain't gonna take responsibility for real. Yeah. He said sorry, but guess how much of a guess how much of a bad apology that was. He only said he was sorry because he got caught for real. It's one of those kind of sorries. Because he got caught. Where he has to say it just to try to save face. But he's not really sorry. The same can go for any of these players and coaches that are currently in the league. Take that for what you will. Now, I'm sorry that I went off on a bit of a tangent, but I had to fucking do it. I had to do it. Because it's like you said, Omega. Yes, some people can't let the past go. Here's the deal. I learned for a while to be a very forgiving person, but that person has to show me how forgiving they really are over the shit that they've done. Mike Vick's done more than enough to show that. To the point where, yes, he really fucked up. He truly fucked up. But he's shown that how much he's fucked up, and he has done the most to make up for his mistake. All there is to it. Now, the Browns and the Chargers. Chargers, again, this was a damn good game, people. If any of you guys missed the highlights from the Browns and the Chargers, you need to do yourself a favor. Go back and look at this game. This game was very entertaining from start to finish, especially if you're a fan of offense. Baker Mayfield, 23 of 32, 305 yards, 2 touchdowns. Nick Chubb, 21 carries, 161 yards, 7.7 yards per carry for an average, 1 touchdown. Kareem Hunt, 2 touchdowns, 61 yards, 12 carries. David Njoku, 7 receptions, 149 yards and a touchdown. Donovan Peoples-Jones, 5 receptions, 70 yards. Rashard Higgins, 3 receptions, 29 yards and a touchdown. Kareem Hunt, 5 receptions, 28 yards. He did very, very good on both sides of on the offense and receiving. Odell Beckham Jr. I'm gonna go ahead and say this right here, people. Deshaun Jackson is better than Odell Beckham Jr. And people would call me crazy if this was the case back in 2015 or 16. Deshaun Jackson at his prime is better than Odell Beckham Jr. I don't care what people say. Other than because, and I say this off the fact that it's not just because of injuries, but because of the fact that it's been a couple years after that, and it's like Odell Beckham Jr. is practically falling off the face of the earth. Like he was like, yo, Odell Beckham was practically the cover star for everybody making one-handed catches. Now it's like, what the hell happened to him? Where is he? I don't know where he is either. Where's that New York Giants Odell Beckham Jr. at? That the dude was sitting up there completely burning past defenses. Now he just can't do it no more. Just can't. All right. Next, we have the LA Chargers. Yeah, you're right. Injuries do happen. I will tell you that. But this is before the injuries is what I'm saying. The injuries really caught up to him. But you saw the decline on his few years before he left the Giants. Like right after, 16, 17? You saw it that he was on his way out the door. All right, so Justin Herbert. Yeah, injuries. Yeah. Justin Herbert, 26 of 43, 398 yards, 4 touchdowns. So, guys, I'm going to tell you this right now. This is my MVP vote right here. Real shit. It's down to 3 people, and they're all quarterbacks. Tom Brady, Justin Herbert, Kyler Murray. Whoever you pick out of those 3, it'd be hard to argue with you. Because Justin Herbert right now is like, I don't know, bro, this dude's insane. Like, last year, he was just a rookie, and he was just killing it. But now, this year, is like he got it all together, and he's just he's just shredding them, bro. Shredding defenses. He almost threw for 400 yards in this fucking game. Austin Eckler did solid. Austin Eckler for me, I kind of got a soft spot for him because he used to be one of my fantasy pickups, and he helped me win one of my fantasy leagues. He went 17 to 66, scored 2 touchdowns. There was the second touchdown. He actually did not mean to score. The Browns did a smart thing, whereas they actually pushed him in the end zone just so they could get the ball back. But sadly, the Browns offense couldn't capitalize. But it's still going to count for him. Mike Williams, 8 receptions, 165 yards, 2 touchdowns. Austin Eckler also scored receiving, so he basically had 3 touchdowns on the day, 2 on rushing, 1 receiving. Pretty solid fantasy numbers for Austin Eckler. Donald Parham, 2 receptions, 29 yards, and 8 touchdowns. I did not know Jared Cook was on the fucking Chargers. The more you know. All in all, like I said, guys, if y'all missed that game, y'all need to catch it. That was a pretty damn good game. If I'm the Browns, look, I know y'all 3-2, but y'all ain't got shit to be ashamed of because that was a tit for tat game. Like somebody had to take the L. It just sadly had to be them. Next, of course, I'm gonna talk about the Packers and the Bengals. This was another solid game that me and Choco sat there and watched. This game went down to the wire also. Aaron Rodgers, 27-39. Aaron Rodgers, I would say he does it again, but this was a pretty wacky game. Aaron Rodgers went 27-39, 344 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Aaron Jones rushed for 100 yards. Finally, I get to see a 100-yard rusher somewhere up here. Besides Zeke Elliott, 14 carries for 103 yards. A.J. Dillon, 8 carries for 30 yards. He rushed for 3.8 yards per carry. Not bad. Devontae Adams. Back to Devontae Adams that we used to usually seeing. Well, let's be honest, I feel like he was always there. 11 receptions, 206 yards receiving. That is actually difficult. And a touchdown. A.J. Dillon scored a touchdown through receiving with 4 catches, 49 yards. Mercedes Lewis, 2 catches, 34 yards. Randall Cobb, 2 catches, 30 yards. 2 interceptions when it goes to the Packers. Adrian Amos, 6 tackles, 3 assisted, 1 interception. Devondre Campbell, 5 tackles, 4 assisted, and an interception. This was not bad. Hold up for a minute. Hold on, give me a minute. I caught a message. I'm going to see what this is all about. As I go on ahead. Darnell Savage Jr., pretty nice. 5 tackles, 1 assist. Nice, yeah, 5 tackles. The defense did pretty okay, but just barely okay because Joe Burrow also pretty much shredded them alive. 26 of 38. Let me see what this is all about. I'm going to need him to explain to me. Oh, God. For people that's keeping up with NBA, Dallas Mavericks is beating the Charlotte Hornets 127-59. To say that's a blowout is an understatement. That's a high school basketball game, if anything. And I don't watch all that much basketball, but my goodness. Samaje Perine, 11 carries, 59 yards. Joe Mixon, who I just talked about earlier with him beating up his girlfriend, 10 carries, 33 yards, and a touchdown. Jamar Chase. I'm going to tell you this right now. For a player that's about to make their mark for Rookie of the Year, there's 2 players thus far. I should say 3, but he doesn't have as many touchdowns as him. It's between Mac Jones, who's solid, very, very solid. Mac Jones, Jamar Chase, and Devontae Smith. No. I'll take that back. I'm sorry, 4 players. I forgot about Rondale Moore. I think Rondale Moore is a rookie too. Correct me if I'm wrong. Rondale Moore he's doing pretty damn good. So, yeah, definitely keep your eye on him if you have the Cardinals on the schedule. T. Higgins, 5 receptions, 52 yards. He converted the 2-point conversion. This doesn't show, but I watched the game. He converted that shit. Tyler Boyd, 4 receptions, 24 yards. I would honestly trade for Tyler Boyd. He's a solid receiving option. I'd trade for him. Samaje Perine, 4 receptions, 24 yards, and a touchdown. I think that's really it. That's really it. Chidobe Awuzie picked off Aaron Rodgers. I will say that, which was pretty damn solid. The former Cowboy. Other than that, I guess we can go to one more game. I don't think I'm gonna be able to cover all the games, but I will cover one more, of course. Actually, no. I'll take it back. I'm gonna cover two more. I'm gonna cover the Dolphins and the Bucks. We're not even gonna talk about the Dolphins because they got shredded 45-17. Jacoby Brissett did throw 2 touchdowns though, so good for him, I guess. And I'm really gonna have a question when it goes to this dude. But yeah, let's go to this. So for people that are not aware, tomorrow the Philadelphia Eagles will face Tom Brady and the Bucks. This is what Tom Brady did. Now you tell me what my confidence level is for this game after seeing what Tom Brady did. Tom Brady went 30 of 41, 411 yards, and 5 touchdowns. The Eagles' defense is going to get shredded alive on Thursday night. Tom Brady about to be like a pinball machine and go ping, 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 ping with every receiver he's going to hit. Knowing that Eagles defense, they're not going to get to him in time. So, pretty much. Leonard Fournette, 12 carries, 67 yards, 1 touchdown. Ronald Jones, 5 carries, 21 yards. Giovanni Bernard, 4 carries, 21 yards. All of these guys got over 4 yards per carry. So, yeah. The Eagles also has trouble stopping a run. They're now, granted, Christian McCaffrey weren't there, but just because that wasn't Christian McCaffrey, that don't mean y'all low-key don't have y'all issues. Receiving. This is another reason why I'm going to have some issues. Look at this shit. Antonio Brown, who I just talked about earlier, 7 receptions, 124 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mike Evans, 6 receptions, 113 yards, 2 touchdowns. I don't know what to say, bro. And with knowing how our defense is when it goes to passing, yeah, Tom Brady about to have a field day. Chris Godwin, 7 receptions, 70 yards. Even that is good enough to nail you a victory. And he didn't score a touchdown. Jamal Dean got an interception. This was on, Jamal Dean, he got an interception, and I think that was it. Yeah. All right, so, yeah, y'all know my thoughts. There you go. The Eagles are going to die. Death by 1,000 cuts tomorrow. I see it coming. I mean, it's not going to be pretty. Oh, never mind. I do need to talk about this game. I'm going to talk about these last 2 games. Bills, Chiefs, Colts, Ravens. Let's talk about Bills, Chiefs in order. Bills, Chiefs. Josh Allen, pretty damn solid. 15 out of 26, 315 yards, 3 touchdowns. Josh Allen also ran for a touchdown, so that's 4 touchdowns total. Deshaun Knox, 3 receptions, 117 yards, and a touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 2 receptions, 69 yards. Emmanuel Sanders, who's looking like he's having a solid year under the Bills. 3 receptions, 54 yards, 2 touchdowns. Stephon Diggs, 2 receptions, 69. Nice. Defensively, they were sacking Mahomes. On top of that, they also picked him off a couple times. Patrick Mahomes got picked off twice. Once by Gregory Rousseau, I think he's the defensive end or linebacker. And then, of course, once by Micah Hyde. So, solid work from the Bills. The Chiefs, of course, aside from, getting their quote-unquote confidence back. Oops, sorry about that. I didn't mean to do that. But, aside from getting their confidence back from the versus the Eagles, yes, people, you're not allowed to play NFL content on Twitch, so that was an accident. Aside from getting their confidence back versus the Eagles, They went 30. Patrick Mahomes went 33 to 54, 272 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Yeah, that was actually low key a pretty shaky day for Patrick Mahomes. He hasn't exactly had the best year so far. He's just been sitting up there, just throwing the ball, saying "fuck it" whenever he has a chance. He did rush for like 61 yards out of 8 carries. He was the leading rusher. That's not good if you're the leading rusher like that. That shows you they can't get anything going on right now. Especially with Clyde Edwards-Helaire having 7 carries for 13 yards. That's downright terrible for a person that was picked up in the first round. Jarrett McKinnon, I forgot they had him. He had 1 carry for 2 yards. Mecole Hardman, 9 receptions, 76 yards. Tyreek Hill, 7 receptions, 76 yards. Travis Kelce, the only one that had a touchdown. I'm sorry. He's not the only one. The only star I know that had a touchdown. Brian Pringle had 2 receptions, 11 yards. And, yeah, that was essentially it. The Chiefs, they need work. They need work if they want to get back on track. They better RELAX and get their asses back on track. Let's see. Of course, lastly, we got to talk about Colts Ravens, that Monday night game. Carson Wentz. Let's talk about it, shall we? My former quarterback, Carson Wentz, went 25 of 35, 402 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That was Carson Wentz's best game since, really, arguably, I would say that's his best game since 2018. Carson Wentz had a pretty damn solid game, so congrats all to him. I hope he keeps playing, because for anybody that does not know, the Philadelphia Eagles, they traded to get a first-round pick off of Carson Wentz. So they currently have the Colts' first-round pick. They have 2 first-round picks. They have 2 first-round picks. They have the Miami Dolphins' first-round pick, and they have the Colts' first-round pick. Now, both the Colts and the Dolphins, if I'm correct, let me check the Dolphins one more time. Both the Colts and the Dolphins are 1-4. So let me go ahead and hit you with the draft order. Let's see. Draft order, Tankathon. I love Tankathon. So here's the deal, right? Look at this. I understand it's hard for y'all to possibly see. There you go. I help y'all out. So this is how it all stands. If this continue to stand right now, if the Miami Dolphins and if the Indianapolis Colts, which currently is a first-round pick, if they continue to lose and Carson Wentz continues to play, the Eagles would hold 3 top 10 picks in the 2022 NFL Draft. Now, I say potentially 3 because there's an incentive with the Indianapolis Colts one. So here's how this is going to go. Carson Wentz has to play over 70% of snaps. Not only does he have to play over 70% of snaps, there's also an incentive to where the Colts has to make the playoffs, along with him playing with 70% of snaps. So there's 2 incentives there. If one of them is met, the Eagles get the first-round pick. But that would also mean the Eagles would be around the wild card or bottom half of the list. So basically, right where Washington, Minnesota, right where Washington, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, Kansas City, Cincinnati, right where these guys are at, or probably right where these guys are at, around here, around 11 to 19 or 11 to 20, that's where the Eagles would be if the Colts step it up and they actually continue to play. Now, if not, say the Colts are knocked out of contention, it would not surprise me if they shut down Carson Wentz just to keep their first-round pick. And, of course, they'll be at number 6 in the draft board because of the fact that, they kept their pick and they shut him down for the season. So that would have the Eagles, instead of having 3, I'm sorry. Yeah, they would keep their first round pick, but they will also give up their second round pick. Now, their second round pick would, of course, you go to the second round, it'd be a high second round pick that if the Eagles want to, they could probably move back up into the first with it. So it depends on how it all goes. It depends on how everything works. So you can see here, this would be the second round. The Eagles will be around pick 37 if the Colts continue to lose. So we will find out and see what the Colts are going to do with Carson Wentz in the following, weeks to come. So that would be great. The Eagles would have 2 top 5, 2 top 10 picks, potentially top 5 picks. And, of course, they have their own pick. As you can see, the Eagles are at number 10 on that list. So that'd be good for the Eagles trying to rebuild their team because that's what I told people right from the beginning. I told y'all this right from the beginning. The Eagles are looking at a rebuild year. But other than that, that was a pretty entertaining game coming from the Colts. Carson Wentz throwing 2 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor going 15 to 53 for a touchdown. Marlon Mack going 5 of 47. I wouldn't surprise me if Marlon Mack's trying to get traded because he has no reason to be there anymore. Jonathan Taylor's pretty much taken over the area. Speaking of Jonathan Taylor, he had 3 receptions, 116 yards, and a touchdown. He had 2 touchdowns total. Michael Pittman Jr., I saw that catch. He went 6 catches, 89 yards, and completely mauled somebody and then went in for the touchdown. Paris Campbell, 4 receptions, 56 yards, and that was relatively it, I guess. There were some sacks that went on throughout the game. Lamar Jackson, let's talk about him. Now, for y'all that don't know, I give Lamar Jackson a ton of shit for him not being a good passer. I have to give credit where it's due tonight. I have to give credit. Lamar Jackson went 37 to 53. He was very efficient. 37 to 53. 43. I'm sorry. I said 53. 37 to 43. 442 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's very efficient numbers. Probably one of the most efficient games Lamar Jackson has had in a couple years since his MVP year. He also ran for 62 yards out of 14 carries. Usually, I would say your quarterback being a leading rusher is a bad thing, but Lamar Jackson's a different fucking breed when it goes to that. Mark Andrews and Marquise Brown showed out. Mark Andrews had 11 receptions, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns. Marquise Brown, 9 receptions, 125 yards, 2 touchdowns. Devin Duvernay, 4 receptions, 45 yards. Sammy Watkins, 2 receptions, 35 yards. Devontae Freeman, 3 catches, 34 yards, and so on and so forth. The Ravens' defense was pretty much getting shredded, but they did get 2 sacks when it counted. And, of course, that'll help them get the W. And that's the last of Week 5. So I'll go on and talk about my Week 6 picks, and then we will go on and talk about Kotaku, which let me bring that up here. Kotaku. Yeah, we're going to bring that up right there with Kotaku. So for anyone that's been looking forward with that, we're going to talk about that. I forgot, right? Because they were bitches and got rid of what they posted. Oh, by the way, before I go on ahead and search this up, everyone, if you haven't already, please give a massive congratulations to Stormy Rise and Sugar Hime. They got engaged, and I'm so happy for them. Now, we've been through this journey with Stormy Rise and Sugar really trying to get together for at least the past 2-3 years. So I'm so happy for her to finally, put a ring on that. Just put a ring on it. So nice black ring, signify the whole thing. I'm happy for y'all, man. I'm happy for the both of them. So, on that note, as I go on ahead and I search this up, again, guys, go on Twitter, go on Discord, go on Gilded, doesn't matter. Give her congratulations. I'm, again, very happy for you. Stormy. It's been a long time coming. Been a long time coming. This is what we gotta talk about right here. But we're gonna talk about that right after we talk about our week 6 picks. So, week 6 of the NFL. Y'all already know how I feel. Buccaneers versus Eagles. It's a wrap. Eagles are gonna lose tomorrow. That's why I'm probably am gonna watch, but I'm not gonna stream it. Dolphins versus Jaguars. This is looking like a solid game for two teams that don't know how to get together. Of course, for me, I want the Jaguars to win because the Dolphins pick gets increased up a little, so go Jags. Vikings versus Panthers. I'm pretty neutral on this, but if I had to pick one, I got to say the Vikings are likely going to edge this out. The longer that Christian McCaffrey is not playing, the more this is going to hurt the Panthers. So I see the Vikings winning this game. Chargers versus Ravens. That's looking like a good-ass game, but I'm going to give it to the Chargers because Justin Herbert's absolutely on fire. Rams versus Giants, we already know. Rams are going to win. Texans versus Colts. Choke out, you're going to kill me, but I need your Texans to win in order to increase that draft pick for Carson Wentz. In fact, you know what? I take that back. I need the Colts to win. I need the Colts to win because here's the deal. If the Colts lose, what's to stop them from being like, you know what, let's shut off Carson Wentz. This season's a wash. Let's at least keep our first-round pick. So instead, I'm like, wait a minute. Colts need to win this game because you have to at least give them some hope to be like, all right, we can potentially reach the playoffs. Let's actually beat this team. Let's whip the brakes off the Texans, which we know probably a lot of teams can do. So I can see the Colts beating the Texans here. Chiefs versus Washington. This is actually a pretty damn shaky game to say the least. Who would have thought? Right? Coming into the season, the Chiefs and the Washington football team are tied at 500. Who would have thought? I know I didn't. Now, who do I think is going to win this game? I see the Kansas City Chiefs winning this game because the Washington football team is looking not only overrated but pretty damn butt-ass. So, I see the Kansas City Chiefs taking this one by a landslide. By the way, Choco, what I said at first is that at first I picked your Texans to beat the Colts, but then I reverted back to that. I'm like, you know what? No. It needs to be the Colts beating the Texans. Yeah, I backtracked on that because I need the Colts to give the Colts some hope so that they can actually, give us that first round pick. So I need your Colts to beat the Texans this upcoming week in order for us to keep that pick. And I want that first round pick, baby. Now, if it's a second, I don't mind if it's a second, but it's not going to be as good as a first. You'll never get over a first. Let's see here. Packers, Bears. Packers is going to win. Bengals, Lions. Bengals are going to win that game. Cardinals, Browns. This is actually, in my opinion, this might be a toss-up, but I see the Cardinals taking this game. Cowboys, Patriots. This could actually be a tough game. I smell trap game for the Dallas Cowboys. I smell it. Now, I understand the Patriots ain't shit, but don't sleep on Mac Jones. Do not sleep on Mac Jones. I really think Mac Jones can give the Cowboys a run for their money. I can see this happening where, this could be a potential trap game for them. So, yeah. Trap game alert, trap game alert, trap game alert. Patriots beat the Cowboys. Point taken, but they really ain't shit without Brady. True, but, hey, look, Mac Jones, he coming into his own. He coming into his own. Don't sleep. Don't sleep. He coming into his own. Like, he went head to head with Brady, And they actually could have beaten the Bucks if, once again, like I said, they could have beaten the Bucks if Bill Belichick wasn't a fucking moron. And of course, he comes in this game, puts in solid work, efficient numbers. 23 of 30, 231 yards, 1 touchdown. And Hunter Henry's becoming a star of that team, so it's good to see from him. Star receiver for that team, so yeah, it doesn't really surprise me all that much. Let's see, Raiders Broncos. After what the fuck has been going on with the Raiders, I see the Broncos taking this game. They're both tied at 3-2, but again, with all the controversy right now surrounding the Raiders and the fact that they have to adjust with a new head coach, I see the Broncos taking this game. I would love to be surprised, but there's too much weight under the Raiders right now for me to sit up there and be like, yeah, they're going to take this game versus the Broncos. No, they're not. No, they're not. Seahawks versus Steelers. Steelers are going to win this game. Bills versus the Titans. Bills are going to take this game. Titans has been really, 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 really shaky. They're 3-2, but they're really shaky out here, guys. Like, we didn't even, I didn't even talk about their game. I didn't talk about who did they lose the game. Yeah, they beat the Jags, but don't get it twisted. It's more so that the Jags are shitty than it is the Titans being better than them. So, yeah, this is the same Titans team that lost to the Jets. I don't know, bro. They're shaky. I have questions with them. They're just as much of an up and down team. And that's my picks for Week 6 of the NFL. Now, let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about it. Metroid Dread. Kotaku. Kotaku right now is giving people that love emulators, such as me, a bad name. First off, this is what I don't get. You take the article down, right? Did they take this article down? No, they didn't. They didn't take this article down. So, let me get this straight, right? Metroid Dread came out October 10th, correct? In fact, let me go and check and see. Opera GX, help me out here. I'm sorry, October 8th. Metroid Dread came out on October 8th. The game can't even last a week and just have people enjoy the game for what it is. Buy the game and enjoy the game. So Kotaku thinks it's a smart idea to be like, well, let's go ahead and write this, talk about how Metroid Dread's running great on the Switch emulators. Here's my question. Why? Why would you tweet this? Why would you make this an article? This here shows me why gaming journalism is complete dog shit. Main Event, for anybody that don't know Main Event, this Main Event has been calling out the gaming journalism bullshit for years. And Kotaku is, of course, is one of the main things on his radar. Can the game last a month before you sit up here and put out some bullshit like this, Kotaku? Of course, like such, we got the comment section. We got Twitter here pretty much telling them exactly how they feel about with all this. I'll let y'all, let's go ahead and read some. Right? I find it hilarious that Nintendo fans think this will cause the game sales to flop when at most 100-ish people is going to try running on emulator. While true, still, this ain't a good look. Particularly for not only Kotaku. This ain't a good look, like I said, for people like me Polygon, yeah, Polygon's another one. This ain't good look for people like us that pretty much preach emulation being a thing for consoles such as the PlayStation 2, such as the Xbox, such as the Nintendo Wii, such as the Nintendo GameCube, such as the Nintendo Wii U, such as the Sega Genesis, such as the NES, such as the Atari. It's not a good look when you have articles like this coming out practically trying to tell you, yo, let's go ahead and pirate the game that came out 2 days ago. I don't know about y'all, but this is the one time I'm going to say this. Fuck emulation. The one time I'm going to say it. Just like this comment right here. Fuck emulation. I'm sorry, but yo, go support this game. Go buy this game. Go enjoy this game. Metroid Dread, for what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing, is that shit. Metroid Dread is a damn solid game. Take this as somebody that pretty much condones either pirating games in the sense of emulation or pirating games off of a shit company. Go get this game on the Nintendo eShop. Go get this game at a GameStop. Go get this game at a Best Buy. Go buy this game. Now, I don't know whether or not games like this is going to be on sale, but go buy this game. Whenever you have the time, whenever you have the money, you will. I have a feeling Metroid Dread is going to make your money's worth. You said I would, but believe me, I want it, but I'm $36 shy. I'm done with you. Well, look, that's sadly the broke life. But here's the deal, bro. Just continue saving up. Continue saving up as much as you can. Oh, and here's one other stupid thing. Let's read this, shall we? That Kotaku put out as an update from 10/10/2:20 p.m. This is what they said. An earlier version of this story was understood by many readers to be a direct suggestion to illegally download this just released game. We regret this interpretation. Kotaku believes emulation is a vital part of the world of gaming, not least when it comes to game preservation. While not directly encouraging anyone to break the law and download games they have not purchased, we believe our readers are intelligent adults capable of making such choices for themselves independently of us. Here's how I feel with it. If you're going to come up with an update with this, you should have erased this fucking article and you should have deleted this tweet. That's what I think. Well, yes, we're human beings. We can think and make decisions for ourselves. Well, let's be honest. Some people honestly don't think for themselves, considering how it be on here on Twitter, let alone on the internet. But the point being is that you shouldn't have put this out as an article in the first place. That's your first mistake. You shouldn't have put this out as an article in the first place. Nobody asked for this. Nobody sat up there and legitimately told you, yo, let's go ahead and put this out and talk about how great this shit runs on the Switch emulator. Nobody told you to do that. Kotaku, you already fucked up. Double L. Exactly. They were clearly asking people in the internet to roast them. Yes, mercilessly roast them. They were really asking for that shit. Why the fuck would you sit up there and put that out? That is so fucking dumb. So fucking stupid. They knew damn well They knew damn well to not post it. But hey, look, it is what it is. Kotaku is gonna Kotaku, and yeah, they're just stupid. It's just stupid. Um, Other than that, guys, I don't have much else I can really say off this except, you know, I hope you guys can, not do this. Please don't do this. I mean, like, I'll tell you what. With this. If you're going to even think about doing this with a game such as this, give it at least a couple years. Not off the rip. Give it at least a couple years. That's how I feel. Give the game some room. Let the game be enjoyed. Let the game make its money that it rightfully earns. Let Metroid Dread make its money. Don't put out shit like this. Y'all know better. All y'all know better. We're all human beings. Y'all know better. And hey, look, PC gamer, not any different. Not any different. Brand new game on current gen, no emu. Yeah. That's how I want it. I want a brand new game on the games that I can go ahead and yeah. I want to play this brand new game, so I will rightfully get the console for it. But you right. And here's the thing though. I'm happy you brought this up, Omega. Here's the deal though. It constantly makes me wonder how the fuck is gaming journalism still even a thing? But now you practically answered the question. The fact that people continue to click on these articles. Hell, I had to click on it just to prove the point. Other than that, I'm not on here. I'm not on Kotaku. I don't follow them on Twitter. I don't give a fuck. Gaming journalism will begin to be a lot more better if motherfuckers would sit down, and actually understand what they're about to write, if it's a good thing or not. But people just put shit out just to put shit out. They just don't care anymore. They plain as day don't care anymore. I mean, it's crazy, but it's facts. It's facts. All I know is, with this situation, yeah, like, it could be so much, yeah. Yeah, it's just that they do it just to piss us off. That's really it. It's really just done just to piss a lot of us off. Other than that, guys, I got nothing else I really want to talk about and get at for today. I hope y'all loved today's episode of Lightning Round. For anybody that missed today's Lightning Round, let me go ahead and check and see real quick, just to make sure I got it right. I want to really make sure this time around that I'm not doing a literal part 3 of the same episode number. I want to go on to episode 17, okay, of Lightning Round. So give me a minute. Let me check and see real fast. We should be able to, yeah, we should be able to see. I should be able to see if I can do this. I just gotta check. What I want to check is so that I have the past broadcast enabled. That's all. Gotta double check, and I don't mean Aaron Rodgers touchdown dance. I'm done with you, bro. Brand, schedule, feature content, auto host list. Not that. Content. There you go. Video producer, copyright claims, streams, collection. Yeah, copyright claims. Oh, sorry. Video producers, where I should go. Oh, no, not this one. Collections. The fuck? Where'd you go? Should it be video producer? Channel stream. I'm trying to think of it. There you go. Yeah, there you go. It is on. Okay. Past broadcast is on. So I will not make the mistake again. So yeah, good. That's all I wanted to see. So yeah, till then, guys, I am done for the night. Ooh, that's interesting. Trans Netflix employees will stage a walkout to protest the controversial Dave Chappelle special. I'm gonna talk about that real quick. Before I go ahead and leave, I am gonna talk about that real quick. For anybody that did not see the Dave Chappelle special, of course, Dave Chappelle special was funny as hell. Now, if you haven't, you need to see for yourselves. But of course, there was one thing that happened on the show that Dave Chappelle talked about. He talked about trans people, of course. Let me actually turn that off. Hold up. There you go. He talked about trans people, of course. Now, you can go ahead and say that, yeah, it was transphobic material. It was insensitive commentary. But, I'm going to say one silver lining with all of this. If people watch the end of it, while yes, he was saying a lot of transphobic stuff, he did mention that he was friends with one trans person. Kind of goes to show you with this, right? He was friends with one trans person. Oh, good. I'm happy they did. Okay, yeah. I'm happy Nintendo is actually going to copyright strike them. But, basically, he did say some transphobic stuff, but he did also mention at the end of the day, he was friends with a transphobic person. He did enjoy the company of the transphobic person. He told the story where the trans person was sitting there at the shows with him, sitting there at the shows and learning from Dave how to be a comedian. Not only did that person learn from having to be a comedian, but they also had it to where Dave had her up on stage. And Omega, that's why I love Dave Chappelle, because he literally does not pull punches. He rips on just about everyone and everything. He does not care. But there was that. But there's also the fact that where that trans person was up on stage, Dave was watching, and of course, from his point of view, she bombed. She bombed she bombed the segment. She bombed the comedy segment. Said 45 minutes of bombing. But what he said was the one thing that she did was that when she was finished, she sat right down, watched Dave put on the comedy performance, and she laughed the whole way through, and she was happy to see him. Now, I would tell you more about this, but I want you guys to watch that special for yourself and enjoy it for yourself. I'm not going to tell all the jokes. I'm not going to tell everything that happened with that segment, but I will tell you that key bit of information. Whereas, while yes, Dave did say some of this shit there, and on the low, it might make you uncomfortable. It may or may not make you uncomfortable, but stay tuned for that exact story that he explains with how that whole thing went. Yeah, for me, it's basically like this. Like, I'm just gonna retweet this comment here. So you're telling me a comedian offended someone? Here's the deal: Dave Chappelle has offended so many people to a point where it doesn't even he just don't care anymore. Also, one other thing, that trans person that he was with, actually got on Twitter and defended him. Got on Twitter and defended him when it went to Dave talking about LB LBTGQ when he was talking about that. So keep that in mind. He was aware of it and he addressed it there. He didn't have to do that. So yeah, it is what it is. All I know is, people, watch the Netflix special for yourself. Enjoy it for yourself. Till then, guys, let's take a look at the schedule throughout the rest of a week. It's also what Ricky Gervais said once. You found it offensive. I found it funny. That's why I'm happier than you. And that's Dave Chappelle right now. That's Dave Chappelle right now. He's literally the happiest man alive. He don't give a fuck. I don't blame him. But this is, again, guys. Here's the schedule throughout the rest of the week. We are gonna finally do Sly Cooper. Sly Cooper's coming up on Friday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The rest of that I got off. Next week we're gonna have another episode of Lightning Round where we're gonna recap Week 6, and we'll probably recap anything else that goes around in the world depending on how it will go. Wednesday 8:30 p.m. we'll do Yakuza Kiwami. Finally, I know people have been begging for me to do Yakuza. Now you'll finally get your chance. We get to do Yakuza and Sly back to hopefully in the same week. Just play 2 games a week. I'd rather keep it like that for now. And that'll be it. That's what'll be going on throughout the rest of the week. Wednesday's going to go down like Kiryu-chan. Damn right. All right, guys. So till then, let's take a look at who we are rating throughout, today. Again, thank y'all so much for showing the love. Thank y'all so much for showing me love. As always, I'll be blessed, bro. Every second, every minute, every hour you guys spend with me is every second, every minute, and every hour. Of course, I am so blessed and so very, very thankful for. We see Preacher of Valor here. We see him. He's playing Back for Blood. We see Rose Raider playing New World. We see TVLLKTTD doing another talk show or podcast. We see Hibby doing Just Chatting. We see Miss Frankie Ray. I'm going to go ahead and say something that's slightly not safe for work. If you guys don't know who Miss Frankie Ray is, Miss Frankie Ray actually used to be a porn star. Miss Frankie Ray goes by the name of course, her porn name, I believe. I don't know if that's her actual name herself, but her name is Annie Cruz. So, yeah, if y'all want to chat it up with Annie Cruz, let me know at some point. You have Niachi here doing some emotes, doing some artwork. And that's really all I could find for now. Oh, also we see Luna Marie right here doing the playing some Overwatch. So let's see. I see. You know what? Let's actually keep the whole talk show. Let's keep the whole talk show thing going. Let's keep the talk show thing going. Let's go ahead and rate TVLKLTD. Let's go ahead and rate him. Let's go and rate him. Next time, though, I will say, if Annie Cruz is online, I'm gonna rate her with no fucking problem. I'll do it without thinking. But yeah, till then, guys, you guys enjoy yourself. Have yourself a good night.